Hi traders, so this is going to be a two-part video series on chart setup and how to trade this system. So the first one is going to be on how to set up the charts, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going from absolute scratch. So from absolute beginning on how to set up the chart and set up all the indicators and set up everything so that it looks exactly like the system or exactly like my charts. So we're going to jump straight into that in a moment. Now, for many of you, when you see this chart setup, it's just going to click for you. And everything that has led you up to where you are now is just going to fall into place, and you will not want to trade any other way after this. And the $15 a week that you're going to be paying for this entire system and all the support and all the coaching is going to be absolute chicken feed compared to the returns that you are going to make using this system, and also the support that you're going to be getting in our group. So I'm really excited to share with you this finished product, and let's jump right now into setting up the chart so that you can immediately start using this system and gain confidence in that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into new chart, and we're going to load up our first chart. So we're going to be doing the NQ on this example. So NQ, and we're going to be trading the flat baseline. So I'm going to select no template. I just want to make it from absolute scratch. We've got our DTB bars selected. We're going to be choosing the flat baseline. So we're going to go 144, and we're going to select 1. We can load up 15 days, that's fine. We are going to be leaving break at end of day on, and we're just going to have the default settings for this data series. We are going to have center price on scale for this top chart. So once you have those settings loaded, you can continue. Alright, so we're going to click on OK, and that's going to bring up the chart. So I'm just going to drag it in here from another screen. I'm going to just put it just over my control panel like that. Now, if your chart doesn't look exactly like this, you may not have the chart trader enabled, so you might have it hidden like that. So just go in and select the chart trader, and you also may not have your margin exactly like mine. So right click on your chart and go to properties and select 180 as your right side margin, and then click OK. So that is going to be our baseline chart. So as you can see, the price forms a baseline, and the price jumps up and down based on that baseline, and often the baseline continues for a long period of time, and there's our baseline price. So for many of you too, this will be the first time looking at a chart like this, and you're going to be actually blown away by what this chart does, and so incredibly impressed by it compared to a normal 5-minute chart or any other chart that you have. So let's go and add our first indicators to this chart. So we're going to right click on it, and we are going to select. There's various indicators that we can use. You can have your account position, there's a few things, but we are only going to use the ones that are directly going to show us our entries and exits. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding our ticks above below baseline. Now we have a 144 chart, as can be seen on the top left here. So we're going to make sure that our ticks above below baseline is set to 144. We're going to leave the default settings as they are, and we're going to click on apply. The second indicator we're going to use is the DTB Wick Trader Indicator Flat Baseline. And same with this one, we want it to be set to 144. So the ticks to baseline 144. Same settings on here. We just got default settings on there, and we're going to click on apply. And we are going to click on OK. Now that is going to load up the indicators on that chart. Okay, so that's loaded. I'll quickly increase the size of this chart. Now we've got our fib level indicator. So we're seeing the baseline price, which is this this line over here. That's our baseline where price is returning to, and we've got our fib levels over here. So we can trade back to the baseline based on different retracement levels. So obviously the indicator stays with the current bar, but you can see how it moves and works with that. So anyway, this is where we currently are. So this is going to be our last bar, and currently this is the playback account, of course, but that's how it shows on this one. So I'm going to minimize this chart. Before I do that, so we've got the 144. So this is where the price will go. If the price goes and touches this level, it's going to form a new baseline. So same with the bottom. As soon as it goes to this level, the baseline is going to break. So the price may jump around, bounce around these levels, you know, until the baseline breaks. Obviously, the week trader indicator is going to move those fib levels above the baseline as soon as price does go over the baseline. But more on that in the next video. So we're going to decrease the size of that chart. We want to make it about 1/3 of the size of the screens. So we'll just increase the chart itself just so we can see where the top baseline would be and the bottom baseline would be. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to go back to our control panel and we're going to open up a new chart. Now this chart, we're still going to keep the NQ. This time we're going to select an 8 and a 16 tick bar. We're going to keep break at end of day on with this example also. We are not going to center price on scale. Now remember, the indicators that we're going to be using on this specific chart do not work effectively if you have center price on scale selected. So we're going to leave that off. So we're going to go and OK that right now. And that is going to be our chart. So I'm just going to position this as neatly as I can, like that, and I'm going to drag it so it fills the whole screen. Okay, I'm going to click on the chart so it brings it up. Now that we've got the two charts on our screen, I'm actually going to just increase the size of the chart just so it shows the charts on my screen. Obviously the control panel can be moved to another screen if you have another screen. But because I'm showing it on my one screen, I'm just going to keep it nice and neat. So this is what you want your screen to look like. You want to have your 144 one on top, where it shows you where the baseline is. And you want to have your shadow trading, your chart at the bottom that is your 8-8. So when I loaded this chart, it automatically selected my last template. So I'm going to just go now and make this a default chart. So just give me a second. Okay, I'm not able to do it there. So I'll just go into my indicators and I'm going to just remove all these indicators that are popping up on my chart. Okay, just so that we can stick with how the chart would look as soon as you've loaded it. So if you retrace a little bit, you're going to see the NQ chart and 8 and 16 chart. So right now we will go into the indicators and we're going to add the indicators that we're going to use on this specific chart. So the first one we're going to use is called the shadow trading. So we're going to add the shadow trading. We're going to keep the default settings. So to use the default settings, you go shadow trading. You can click on reset and apply, and that's going to apply the default settings for the shadow trading indicator onto the chart. Okay, so just confirm that your settings are the same as this, which I'm sure they will be. Important to have on each tick. Okay, so we have the shadow trading, and now the second one we're going to add is the ultimate bands. So there's the ultimate bands. There is an option to select audible alerts. I've just got these disabled at the moment, so you can have audible alerts when the price hits those certain bands, and you can change the name, you know, of those alerts. You can basically go in and choose which sound you want to play when the price touches that band, but we're not going to use that at the moment. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to apply that, and it's going to show us the bands on the screen. Now I would like the bands to be less dominant, so I'm going to go in and just open up the settings for the bands, and instead of choosing a line, I'm just going to choose a hash, and I'm going to make it size 1. So I'm going to do that for all of them. A hash and 1. Hash 1 and hash 1. So once you've got those settings, you can click on apply. Now, yes, so that looks less dominant on the chart, doesn't overshadow anything. So right now I'm going to go and just save this as a template. So I like the look of that, so I'm going to go save, and I've called it Ultimate Bands with Shadow. This is actually an 816 chart, so I'll just call it 816 hash. And I'm going to click on save. So that's just save the template for the ultimate bands. Now I'm going to click on OK. Alright, so this is the two charts combined on the screen. So we've got our shadow trading indicator, which I'm sure many of you have fallen absolutely in love with and have already enjoyed using it. But what this does, and for those who might not be familiar with this, this indicator is not a lagging indicator at all. So at this very point in time, so if we're looking back, you know, at the time on the chart, I'm just going to select this thing here to make it local, so we can see time on the chart. And I'm going to do the same with the bottom one. I'm going to just select this so I can see a crosshair. So our momentum line, for example, on this chart is below the price. So as you see there, it's within the bands first of all. Okay, so the momentum line is within the bands. So we're not going to be taking trades. And as the price moves, the momentum line stays in its correct location. And over here, you can see this is 22.29, 22.29. So that is basically when the baseline broke. So this momentum line stayed in the bands, and what actually happened is it showed us when the baseline actually broke. And then what happened is immediately afterwards, the momentum line in real time jumped above the price, but we still had the price drop down to take out stops. So we're basically seeing what the machines are doing. You know, the price has dropped down to a new baseline, and it's even dropped a bit further. You know, this move down is designed to suck traders in to be selling because they're thinking the price is going to be dropping further. But all what's happening in the back end is the machines are dropping the price to catch unsuspecting traders. Meanwhile, the momentum of the price is showing that it's going to be reversing. So our whole philosophy trading this is we are trading with the machines. So we are trading reversals. We're not being caught up in price going in a direction and jumping on at the last moment before the machines actually reverse the price. So we are at a huge advantage because when most people are selling in this example, so as price is going down, people are selling, we're actually doing the opposite. We're doing what the big financial institutions and the banks are doing. We're actually buying when the masses are selling. So And that is evident there. We've got our divergence arrows, we've got our divergence lines, and these are opportunities where we can trade back to the baseline. But we're going to cover more on this in the next video. So our new baseline has formed. We've got our momentum line over here above the price and above the bands. We've got our divergence arrows, which show us incredible opportunities of trading back in the direction of the baseline, or even directly to the baseline. And right now, that is what the chart would have looked like in real time, at that specific moment. So we've got the momentum line above the bands. We've got a little divergence arrow saying, there's an extremely high possibility that the price is going to be returning back to the baseline. And this arrow also prints in real time. So there's not lagging. You're going to see on this system, it is not a lagging system. There are so many indicators out there that are lagging, and this is not them. So you're going to absolutely love trading this chart. You're going to absolutely love seeing what price is doing, and I really hope you find major benefit in this and continue to love the system as I do and as many of the group members are. So I'll see you on the next video where we actually go into examples of how to trade this very effectively, because we only just brushed the surface of that. So I hope that was beneficial. Please reach out if you want to have access to the system. I've also included, for anybody new, I've included a download link in the description of this video, because I'm putting it on YouTube. I've put a link in the description to download this immediately. So you can actually download this to your platform, to your computer immediately, load up the chart as I discussed in this video, and you can watch the next video while you've got your chart set up to be able to trade the price back to the baseline, or at least in the direction of the baseline. And this is going to increase your accuracy rate to 70-80%, because these deviations you're seeing on the screen with the momentum line showing you direction, those are going to greatly increase your chances of success. And the awesome thing is, right now you have the opportunity to download these files, to download the DTB bars, the shadow trading, and the ultimate bands indicator. You can do that right away, upload it into your NinjaTrader 8 platform, and jump on the next video and really learn how to use this. And you're going to have 14 days to use this complete system unrestricted, to learn the system and watch it work. And you're going to be absolutely amazed by the power of it. So please go ahead now and download these files, import them into NinjaTrader, and I'll see you on the next video. And for my group members, because this video is going to be placed in my closed Facebook group. For my group members, I'll see you on the next video. You've already got all of this in your system. Okay, thank you very much, and see you there.